you writing you letters. They charge it off, and they no longer actively tries to collect the debt. It is passed to a collection agency who now picks up the gauntlet, and they're serious, crazy about calling you to all times of hours, calling your job. You know, the reason y'all have caller ID in the first place. They invented caller ID for y'all just to avoid your collectors, right? So they're blowing up your phone. Things are kind of crazy. But let's make sure we understand this process. The government, what's charge-off mean? The government gives your creditor a pre-tax charge against earnings. That is singly the best deduction that you want. So they give them a deduction to compensate them for whatever the debt was that you owed. So your tax dollars have now done what? Paid that debt. I'm going to prove it to you a little more. I want to make sure you get this. If you don't pay your rent and your landlord takes you to court and says you stop paying, what's the judge going to tell you? Pay or get out, right? All the creditor has to do in America, if you owe them money, is take you to court. Isn't that what collection agencies do? Collection agencies take you to court, get judgments, garnishments, bank liens, right? So answer me this one question. We know that the court system works, right? Collection agency take you to court, you don't show up, they get judgment, now they garnish your check or your bank account, right? Imagine this. Sears has a credit card with you. They walk into court with bank statements, charge statements. They have a transactional history report of from the time you opened the account. They have phone transcripts from every phone conversation where they ask you to pay and you made up excuses and stopped calling. They have a call record history of the times you hung up on them or didn't answer the phone. They have all this documentation. They tell the judge, you owe us $20,000. What is the judge going to say to them? What's he going to say to you? Pay them people their money, or take this garnishment and let them take your money. So we know that the courts will support Sears. All Sears has to do is take you to court. They will definitely get a judgment, which they can then garnish your paycheck or your bank account. So why don't they do it? Why won't they do that? That sounds like a good system. Why would they sell it for pennies on the dollar when they can get 100% of it simply by taking 2 or 3 steps? Because they've already been paid. It's much easier to go to your Uncle Sam. Why do you think they call him that? He's your good uncle with a fat wallet. Pays all your bills. They go to your Uncle Sam and say, hey, you know so-and-so ain't paid me. Uncle Sam said, no problem. Here, take your payment. There's no reason for them to sue you. They don't want to take you to court because it's much easier to go to your Uncle Sam and get the paycheck. Okay? So wait a minute, Doc, though. Something ain't adding up. It sounds good, but something ain't adding up. How is it then that debt collectors are calling me for and getting judgments? Well, let's understand the system. Let's master the system. Okay, so they charged it off through a loophole in the law. They don't sell the debt. They sell the ability to collect the debt. That's why they're not called debt buyers. They're called debt what? Collectors. They bought the ability to collect the debt. Do you understand? I want you to understand it's a subtle difference, and it sounds like the same thing, but it's like this. If I'm a loan shark and somebody come to me and say, hey, you know, what's your name, sir? Reggie. They say, you know, Reggie, I know Reggie owes you $1,000. I said, well, you know, Reggie's uncle came and see me the other day, and we kind of took care of that. Okay, no problem. Can I just break his legs? I want to buy the ability to break his legs. I know he don't owe you no more money. I just want the ability to break his legs. Understand why that's important. Because now the collection agency, and again, understand this, the collection agencies buy these debts for less than pennies on the dollar. Go on the internet and look at some of these sites where they're selling $100 million worth of debt for, $50,000. I mean, it's crazy what they pay for it. If it was really debt, if they were buying debt, who sells debt for a penny on the dollar? If I'm on the streets and I'm buying food stamps from somebody, they're going to charge me at least what? 50 cents on the dollar, right? They're going to charge me at least half because I'm buying something of value. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to charge me at least 50 cents on the dollar. Where can you buy real debt for a penny? We'd all be billionaires if it was real. But this is what the debt collector has done. They've bought the ability to collect the debt from you. So they send you a letter. This letter says on it, you used to owe Sears $20,000. Okay? We've been hired or whatever, however the verbiage, we're trying to collect on this debt. At the bottom, the letter says, if you dispute this, then simply do what? Write us a letter and say that. This is what you call a debt contract. Let me tell you how the debt contract works. I used to use it to terrorize people. If I send Reggie a letter right now and say, Reggie, you owe me $1,000. However, if I've made some kind of mistake and you don't really owe me, simply notify me in writing in 30 days. Otherwise, I will assume the debt is valid. If Reggie does not respond in 30 days, guess what happens? He just validated the debt. He now owes me $1,000. Legally, he owes me $1,000. I could do that to every one of y'all in here. I might as well. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody's sending you the same letter. You owe $10,000. However, if this is incorrect, simply say not. Otherwise, I'm going to assume it's true. As long as by law, as long as I put that on the bottom, I'm good. It's called a technical debt. There's two kinds of debt. Legal debt and technical debt. Legal debt means I have the legal standard for proof of indebtedness. And there's a legal standard. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to do just a debt workshop. But the legal standard for proof of indebtedness. Everything else is a technical debt. I can tell anybody it's not illegal. People say, isn't what the debt collection is doing illegal? No. I can tell anybody in this room, you owe me 10 grand. I can send you a letter saying, you owe me 10 grand. That's not illegal. Because at the bottom I said, if this ain't true, simply let me know in writing, otherwise I'm assuming it's true. So now you have not responded. The reason you didn't respond, because you don't know the difference between technical and legal debt, and you remember that you used to owe Sears 10 grand. They're taking advantage of your ignorance. We perish for lack of what? Okay. Got me? So you assumed that to be true. All you had to do was write them a letter and say, you're wrong. I don't know any money. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which you're going to read, says all you have to do to a creditor is tell them, I refuse to pay. That's quote unquote. I refuse to pay. Stop calling me. Stop writing me. I refuse to pay. That's the law. I refuse to pay. Read it for yourself. Don't believe me. It says I refuse to pay. Guess what? I don't even need caller ID no more. I can answer my phone without looking at it. Got it? I refuse to pay. Collection agencies take advantage of your ignorance. It's called acquiescence. Acquiescence means if you don't dispute it or deny it, you must agree. That's the position the courts have taken. With a